Okay, let's go back. If I were to ask you to write 3/10 as a fraction and then 3/10 as a decimal number. Again, I'm saying 3/10. Write 3/10 as a fraction and as a decimal number. As a fraction, that would be 3/10. And as a decimal, that would be 0.3. Both of these represent 3/10. If I were to draw a shape, and as you can see, it is not even at all. But I have drawn a little shape, and I am going to color in this section. Whoops, I'm drawing outside the box. Okay, first off, let's count and see how many little sections I have. 1, 2, 3, I can't see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many sections are shaded in? Well, we know that we have something out of 10, so our bottom denominator is going to be 10. Now we're going to count how many we have shaded in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4/10 is shaded. If I were to write that as a decimal, it would be 0.4. 4/10 is shaded. Again, I could do the same thing with a circle. If I were to take a circle, and let's put a circle in here, and let's mark it off. Okay, and let's shade in some of our circle. Okay, now let's again count to see how many pieces we have of this little pie here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now let's cut a piece here. It's be 9 and 10, because I wanted to get 10 in. Alright, so we have 9 and 10. Okay, so we have 10. And let's count and see how many we have colored in. 1, 2, 3. So we have 3/10 shaded in, or we can say 0.3 as a decimal number. Again, we can do this exact same thing with the with hundreds. If I were to say, write well, if I could spell. Let's say $84 hundredths. If I had a word that said 84 hundredths, first off, I want you to write it as a fraction. Hundredths tells me what our denominator will be. Our denominator will be hundredths. 84 tells us what our numerator would be. 84 100ths. If I was to write that as a decimal, I would have 0 whole numbers and 84 hundredths. 0.84. If I were to say, write 15 hundredths. Write it as a fraction and as a decimal number. Again, it would be 15 over 100, which equals 0.15. 15 hundredths. If I were to say, write 5 and 4 hundredths. Okay, this part we have to break it down. We have the word and, so that tells me that's a decimal. I have 5 and. Well, that's telling me that it's to the left of my decimal, so I have 5 whole and 4 hundredths. I have to remember that the first value is tenths, the second value is hundredths. Which number is in the hundredths place? 4. So what is going to go in my tenths place? That would be a 0. So this would be 5 and 4 hundredths. If I were to write this as a mixed number, it would be 5 and 4 over 100. 5 and 4 hundredths. Okay, for this one, you will need to complete, of course, the practice set, and then you will need to complete the problem set for homework tonight, all of the problems.